We're here with Lin Wells from the National Defense University. Lin, during Haiti, we just wanted to get your thoughts on what you think went well, what perhaps were some of the challenges, and what are the value of technology volunteers?
So I think the incredible energy, capacity, and capability that was shown during the first few weeks of Haiti was truly remarkable and path-breaking. You know, the fact that you had the Coast Guard launching medical evacuation helicopters off of information compiled by the graduate students at Fletcher, organized through Ishahidi, drawing in information from the slums of Port-au-Prince through Skype and SMS texting, translated through the diaspora, overlaid in imagery in San Diego, and coordinated through a street map is just breathtaking. The two questions I have are, what long-term impact did it have? I mean, there was a lot of effort and a lot of great work done in the early days. If you go back now, what's the long-term impact? One, come in. And two, what is the impact across sectors? So to what extent was ICT integrated into development, integrated into the medical sector, integrated into the construction, things like that, and how do we measure it? Right? So if I were to look back on the successes, it really did show a different way of doing business. And so we've done a paper called From Haiti to Helmand. And the question is, how can you take what was done in Haiti and adapt it for other regions? The model is simple: cloud, bridge, filter, channel. The cloud is going to generate information, whether the government wants it to or not, and the government can't say anything about it. Right? It can facilitate things like 4636 and stuff like that, but by and large it's going to happen. But each organization is going to have to set up a bridge to be able to reach out and take advantage of that information. And what Southcom did initially was through APAN as the network and the Open Technology Group as the people to do it. They have to have a filter to vet and validate the information, which in Haiti was easy, but which in Helmand would be quite different. And then there has to be a channel to tee this information up for decision makers in a way that they can find useful. Okay? So this cloud bridge filter channel model. So it turns out about the same time as Haiti and Albania, there were some of the worst floods in 50 years. And one of the questions we asked is, could we do for Albania what was being done for Haiti? And the answer in late January was no, for two reasons. First of all, the crisis mappers were more or less focused on Haiti, but secondly, European Command had not set up the bridge filter channel to be able to take advantage of the information and incorporate it into what else was going on. So what we're trying to do going forward is to take advantage of get as many different organizations as possible to build the bridges, to you establish the relationships ahead of time. As somebody said, the time to exchange business cards, not after the crisis. And then to set up the channel to tee up the information for decision makers. I think that one other thing that's been really disappointing to me is people talk about what's going on the ground right now, and Hospital A and IDP Camp B does not know that Hospital C and IDP Camp D has excess amounts of medical supplies that they could use over there. So the lateral channels of communication that could have been leveraged off of the work that was done were, for whatever reason, not really set up. And so hopefully, as a lesson learned going forward, we'll find ways to incorporate the volunteer groups, and CAPAB was an example of something that might have been able to help. How do we get that incorporated going forward? I was speaking with people at World Economic Forum the other day, and they were interested in metrics of the long-term impact of ICT on essentially development, but this could apply for disaster management as well. So I think we need to not just assert how cool it was and what neat things were done, there's no doubt it was, but what metrics can we show that how we made a difference, not how you all made a difference in going forward. Going forward, I think there's a couple of things. For all the praise I want to heap on Southcom and leaning forward with APAN and their outreach group, I think we all understand APAN is not the long-term solution. So what is the information platform going to look like, or what should it look like? And how can we keep it nimble enough to take advantage of the rapid pace of changes that are happening in this area, as well as the innovation that's going to occur on the ground that we just can't anticipate. So this presumably means open standards, it means APIs, it means the ability to handle lots of imagery, things like that. And there are people who are working on it, even as the others who are trying to nail down a program of record. So we need to find the right balance for that. And the other piece we need to do going forward is how do we sustain a business case so that the volunteer efforts can in fact not exhaust themselves, drain all their money, and actually be available for use in, whether it's Pakistan floods or whether it's some future earthquake somewhere else or another tsunami. So how do we keep a warm capability base? So those will be some of my quick thoughts.
Great. Thank you so much, Lin.